All right, good morning. We are joined by Cal State Fullerton head coach Rick Vanderhook. Coach, we'll just start with an opening comment, and then we'll open it for questions.
Happy to be playing. It's a time of the year where a lot of people don't get to play. We are definitely honored to be able to participate in this. It's been a long time since I've been here, 1988. I was here in that regional back then. I had the same bus driver I had in 1998. I had a lot less gray hair. I was probably a little skinnier. But it's just an honor to be here, and our club's excited to be able to play in this environment.
All right, we'll take questions, and if you could, please state your name and affiliation.
Hey, Coach. Ben Wake, Commercial Dispatch. Last year, y'all went to Louisville and won a super regional. I know this is a regional, kind of different circumstances, but is there anything you can take from that coming in here and just kind of confidence maybe?
Confidence we're going to have. You shouldn't be playing if you're not confident that you can compete at this level. I'm going to miss a guy named Thomas Eshelman, who we had last year, who's probably one of the greatest pitchers in college baseball history, not only our university, but all of college baseball, the way that he competed and threw strikes. But we have some guys that have been in an environment not similar to this. You can't play in an environment similar to this unless you've played at LSU or at Mississippi State before. There's just, you can't replicate it. But hopefully we can handle the situation right now. We're just looking at Louisiana Tech and all those home runs they've hit in the last couple weeks, and they're almost 90 stolen bases, and you know, we've got our focus on them, and we're going to go out and try to get acclimated with the field here and prepare ourselves for tomorrow.
You talked about 1988, came in here and won. Is there anything you can tell your team for this year, or is it just totally different?
It's totally different. We didn't have to play Mississippi State that year. I think we finished with Texas A&M. Unless it gets super, super hot in the next couple days. It was really hot then. And I can still remember playing them, Freddie Rison on the mound, who was a California kid for Texas A&M, and Mike Ross hitting one pretty far to left field to win that game. But now there's nothing with it. I just told the guys that I'd been here once, do not remember anything but the left field lounge. And I walked out and looked at it, and it looks pretty much the same. So, you know, that's about all we can have.
We'll go to the back.
Hey, Coach, Chris Immersion, KTV 10 in Monroe. Your number one guy, Connor Siebold, he tweaked his hamstring last week against Long Beach State. What's his status? Is he going to be able to throw against Louisiana Tech on tomorrow?
He will not pitch tomorrow. Will not. He threw last night, and it felt better. He's at treatment right now. He's going to come long catch during practice, get a little treatment afterwards. He won't be available for tomorrow, but he will be available this weekend. That's about where I stand with him.
You talked about Monday that you were hoping to get Tanner Pinkston back. Do you have an update on his status?
Well, Tanner played twice last week. He dislocated his elbow 2 Sundays ago on a play at first base. It popped out, it popped back in. He played Thursday and Friday. Last weekend was too sore to play Sunday. We gave him 3 days off. He got an extra day this week. He looks okay. I'm going to watch him take BP again today and tomorrow, and he'll be a game time decision for us.
Go back to the back again.
You have your freshman, Colton Eastman, rather. He's pitched pretty well. Is he going to be the guy starting against Louisiana Tech tomorrow?
No, he won't pitch tomorrow. He's pitched the last game of the series every week. He's pretty good.
Question down front.
Coach, Danny Smith, Strawful Daily News. Just talk about Dalton and your offensive lineup with his batting average and what he's meant to your offense.
Dalton's had a good year for us. It's important to be able to have seniors that have experienced things. And Dalton and Josh Vargas, Tanner Pinkston are all seniors, Jared Bravo, who have at least played in an environment as close to this as we can have. And he's been just Mr. Consistency. I think he started 55 of 56 games. I didn't play him game 2 against Stanford. They threw a left-hander, and I didn't play him. And he's played every game since. He's just Mr. Consistency at the plate. He gives us a good, solid at-bat every time that he goes to the plate, and doesn't get himself out very much, which is a hard thing to do at this level with young men. And, you know, he's led pretty good. He's had an exceptional year for us.
Stay right here.
And what does Pinkston bring to your lineup?
Experience. I mean, he's a 4-year guy in our program. His freshman year, our club had a pretty good year. I think we won 50-some games and only lost 10. And so he got to watch the Michael Lorenzens and Carlos Lopez's and guys that we had that were really successful from a team standpoint. And he has really done a good job every year, getting a little better, getting a little more mature. I told his mom on senior night, "You sent me a boy, I sent you home a man." And he's gone through some struggles. His father passed away during his sophomore year, and he's handled that pretty well. And that's hard for kids to do. And I like the way he's handled it, and I like the person he's became. He just graduated from college with 9 other of our guys. I don't think I've ever in my whole career had 9 guys in 1 year graduate. But he was one of them, and hopefully he gets a chance to play after we're done here.
We'll go front left.
Logan Lowry, Daily Journal. Coach Dietrich was one of the leading candidates for Mississippi State's pitching coach job in the offseason. How much were you privy to during that process, and what did it mean to your team to have him back?
Well, I mean, he's one of the best pitching coaches in the country. I mean, we've been pretty high every year with different guys. It's not like we've had the same guys now. He had Eshelman and a kid named Garza for 3 years, but he turned Peitzmeyer into an All-American walk-on kid out of Omaha, Nebraska. And this year, losing Eshelman and Garza, nobody thought we'd be able to pitch. I mean, that's 2 big guys that have started from 3 years on Friday and Saturday night. And John Gavin has stepped in to do what he does, and Siebold stepped in, and the bullpen's been pretty good with Sigerstad and Prohoff and Hawken and Chambers. And it's just, we develop a pitching staff, and we have a philosophy that we go by. And the guys buy into what he teaches them. And, it's been good for us. But, like I told him, I understand the SEC is great. They have 1 million teams in the tournament, 1 million teams hosting. But we're not chicken liver. We're actually pretty good too. And we've accomplished some pretty good things at our university, 25 consecutive regionals, 4 national championships. I think we're one of, us and Pepperdine are the only 2 schools that do not play football that have won national championships. And we operate on a $9 million budget as an athletic department. So even though we're not as big and mighty, we do pretty good at what we do, and we stride ourselves on our pitching. And our pitching's been solid so far.
We'll go to the back, and then we'll come down here.
With you guys leading the nation in overall team ERA, have you guys noticed how hot Louisiana Tech has been? And are you guys worried that, some of these hitters who have been really hot can find some mistake pitches and hit them out of the ballpark?
On fire. I have watched a lot of tape on them. They are on fire. That's why I haven't made a decision yet on who we're going to start tomorrow. We have a left-hander, we have a right-hander, and just kind of trying to watch and see the tournament that they played in. They hit a lot of home runs, but I don't know this yard well enough until we practice in it to get a feel for it, how this yard plays. And that'll make a decision on who we pitch. They hit left-handers, they hit everything. And I saw the kid from Rice pitch against them who has a really good arm, is going to be a first-round draft pick, and they just whacked him. Then I saw a left-hander that they faced, and they just whacked him. So, they're whacking everybody, and right now that's our concern with what we're going to do. They've got a lot of stolen bases. I mean, they got an aggressive style, and we're not looking past Louisiana Tech. We're looking at tomorrow at 6:30 at Louisiana Tech, and all of our preparation is for that.
Throw it right to Ben.
You talk about winning national championships. Obviously, Fullerton has been really good in baseball. Why do you think they've been so good in baseball? Is it just geography, or what do you think it is?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably a persona that the players have to live by. You know, here you have to live under Coach Polk. At Cal State Fullerton, you have to live under Augie Garrido, who had an extremely successful career at a couple different places. And then you have George Horton after that, who, gosh, I don't know how many times we played in the College World Series when George was the head coach, but it was a lot. When my kids were young and we didn't get out of a regional or a super regional, they thought that we didn't get to go on vacation because they thought vacation was Omaha. And, you know, so I thought Augie laid the foundation. I think George started building more bricks on it. And Dave took over after that, and he took them to Omaha. And, you know, you don't get to play for a national championship unless you win a regional, unless you win a super regional, and then you have the opportunity to compete for a national championship. And that's all you can ask your guys to do. And then when you get there, some luck falls in most of the time for some people. So I can't tell you why. There's no formula to it. Everybody can think we have this great formula. It's the players, and it's what they think. I mean, if you saw Louisville play last year, you're seeing the same team this year, the same exact team. Those dudes were good, and they could hit, they could run, they could pitch. They had it all. They just didn't finish out a full game. They can say we got lucky, but did you create your own luck? And that's how I think the game goes, by how hard you work and prepare for games.
All right, we'll stay right here in the front.
Eric, Mike Bonner from the Clarion Ledger. You talked about the one thing you remember is the left field lounge in '98. What kind of memories come to mind when you think about that trip in the left field lounge?
Dude, they'd feed you. They'd do everything you want. You know, they only hate you for 9 innings, okay, while you're on the field if you're against them. And we didn't play them. I've been to Baton Rouge a few times and played in regionals, and they only hate you while you're playing. After the game, they're as hospitable gets. And I told my guys that. You're going to get to experience something that you'll never know what it's like, because unless we go to a regional at LSU, we're not going to play at LSU. And, you know, there's no different. They can talk about the box and talk about this and that, and it's pretty cool, but it's no different. This is the same exact environment. And, you know, they're going to get hated while they're on the field. I've warned my left fielder, center fielder, and right fielder. I won't bring up Joey Bell in 1988, I think Joey Bell was 92 when he chased somebody over the fence. I think he did that. You guys would know that better than I, huh? 87. Yeah, at the SEC regional. But, you know, you're going to be able to have to handle some bullets, man, and you're going to have to tune some things out. That's just, it's part of competitive athletics. And you're going to get to competitive athletics like you ain't seen it.
All right, Ben, then we'll go to the back.
You mentioned Augie Garrido. What do you think he's kind of meant to college baseball, and what do you kind of make of the situation there at Texas?
You know, he's up there. You know, he has more wins and this and that, but I don't think he's any different than Ron Polk or Bob Bennett, Rod Dato, Jim Brock. There's a whole bunch of them. Ron Frazier, I can't name them all. But they're all the same. They're icons. You know, the loss of him to the game had to eventually happen. But I'm sorry to see him finish. I haven't talked to him yet. I haven't called him yet. He sent me a text, but I'm letting the dust settle a little bit. I'll see him in the summer when he comes down. He has a little different place. He has a place in Newport Beach, which is a nice place. And I'll go down and see him when he gets there. But, you know, he's still in the game. He's still involved with the University of Texas. I think it was a good way for him to go out. It would have been much better if they would have got to participate in the postseason, but unfortunately they did not. Really, the only one left is Jim Morris, I think. I'm not sure on that, but from when I started coaching, Coach Polk, who I make sure every time that I go to a convention or somewhere, I make sure I see Coach Polk so I can shake his hand again, because he's always treated everybody the same, no matter who you are or where you coach or what you are, an assistant, somebody. He's always been as gracious as ever to me. And, Ron Frazier isn't with us anymore, or Rod Dato, but those guys, it's different. Let's just put it that way. It's different. We have the new era, and I don't have a problem with any of the guys that I coach with or against, but it's not like those guys. I mean, that was crazy, and they put college baseball to where it's at today.
All right, we'll go to the back.
Coach, this is the first time since '94 where no regional has been held in California. A, is it bothersome to you? And B, does it get in the players' and other coaches' heads?
No, we should have won more games. I mean, that's the bottom line of it. We should have won more games. There's some sad people out there, and, I think we killed ourselves the second to last week, losing 2 out of 3 to Hawaii and then getting beat by SC. To have the opportunity to do that, we redid our place just for the reason so we could play at home. We've played in a lot of regionals at our school. I do not know the exact numbers, but for the first, I think 2001 is our first regional that we ever hosted. And I think we played in the regionals almost all of the 80s and all of the 90s on the road. So I just told our guys to revert back what the old guys did before them. They all had to play on the road. Now, most of the time back in the old days, it was ASU or Fresno State, but ASU was pretty much power back then. Fresno State had really good clubs. First time we went out of the area was '92 to Baton Rouge, and things turned out okay there. And we went back there again in '94, and things turned out pretty good then. So we just didn't win enough games. I mean, the Pac-12 was just a jumble. Whoever has to play Utah as a number 4 at 25 and 27, they're better than 25 and 27 because the Pac might have not won a ton of games, but the Pac is still pretty good, no matter if it's a bad year or not a bad year. And, everybody has a little more pitching out there now. Who's ever going to run into St. Mary's, write the name down Burns, because you're going to know who he is, because he's going to come out and be pretty good. The kid at Gonzaga is going to be pretty good. So these are guys that nobody knows about that somebody's going to go, oh my gosh. And everybody has guys like that as we go through the postseason. And I mean, it's just what it is. But I don't know. I don't think we were that deserving out there. I don't even think we were deserving for the way we finished. And we play a pretty good league. We play in a pitching league, but it's a pretty good league. And, the last 2 years, the Big West has had 5 teams get postseason berths prior to this year, and 2 of those 5 ended up in Omaha. Those are pretty good odds. We're not talking 7, 8, or 9. We're talking 5 in 2 years. UC Irvine went to Virginia or Oregon State a couple years ago at the number 1 seed, and then we ended up last year at Louisville. And you're looking at the same Louisville club besides Whiting. I mean, those guys, they're good. And that was a good environment, but it's 5,000. The best part about this is people at Mississippi State know baseball. I don't think the people in Louisville understand baseball as well as the people here. I think it's too new to them.